There was no drama in the stands on Tuesday. No, the Penguins provided that after the game. I am Dan Kingerski here at PPG Paints Arena on the Pittsburgh Hockey Now, the National Hockey Now YouTube channel. The Penguins lose to the Seattle Kraken 4-2, concluding a crucial, perhaps fatal, 5-game homestand in which they go 1-3-1. Losing 4 or 5 on this homestand just might be the final straw for general manager Kyle Dubas. Expect some Penguins changes, we think, coming up very soon. The situation is this: the Penguins now trail the Columbus Blue Jackets by 4 points. Columbus also has 2 games in hand, holding that second wild card. Adding fuel to that fire, there are 4 teams between the Penguins and Columbus. What was a great opportunity was squandered by the Penguins on this homestand. Let's get to the actual game against Seattle. Just like they did against Tampa Bay a couple of nights ago, the Penguins dominated the puck in the first period. The Penguins outshot Seattle 16-2 in the opening frame, and yet they trailed 1-0 2 minutes into the game. Not the first shot, the second shot. And just to add a little salt into that wound, it was a shorthanded goal. A little more salt. Starting goaltender Tristan Jarry actually had the puck, made the save, and it bounced and trickled behind him across the goal line. Chandler Stevenson gets the shorty, and the Penguins trailed 1-0 despite an overwhelming shot advantage, overwhelming puck advantage. That advantage carried through the second period into the third period. At one point, the Penguins were out shooting Seattle 30-10, and yet they held only a 2-1 lead until 2 goals in 49 seconds by Seattle. It's a 3-2 game and then a 4-2 win. The frustration in the locker room. Let me tell you about the locker room. We had a chance to chat with Chris Letang, kind of a little one-on-one conversation, and the frustration with him was thick. He felt like the team not scoring fueled the, let's call it what it was. He didn't use this word. I'm using this word. Lazy defensive zone coverage. He said even though we weren't in the defensive zone much, it wasn't very good. That's a nice way of saying it. Mike Sullivan went straight to it. So if we need to change one thing, it's a commitment to defend. Sullivan also took some pretty big blame on Tuesday, saying it starts with me. I have to do a better job of preparing these guys to play away from the puck in the defensive zone and be on the same page. The reality, I think, is not about scheme, schematic, or system. There's a little something there that's roster construction, or feeling like they're not Stanley Cup contenders, or just a little dispirited something or other has carried over into the last couple or few games in which they have not gotten that big goal. Maybe they don't feel like they can get that big goal, and that is fueling sort of this despondency. If you watch the video on the Pittsburgh Hockey Now YouTube channel, you can see Sidney Crosby. His words belied the emotion of it. You can see it, you can hear it in his face, you can hear it in his voice, see it on his face. That's what I meant to say. Where we have to find a way to get points. It doesn't matter how well we play. We have to find a way to close out games. We have to figure it out. So you kind of put all of those three together. Evgeny Malkin citing the team's discipline in the third period, saying we have to be disciplined. We have to be disciplined. Said it 3 or 4 times in his post-game media scrum. By the way, the story is on Pittsburgh Hockey Now that Malkin's house was burglarized last weekend. They got all 3 of his Stanley Cup rings. Just unbelievable. What a week for the Penguins. From Puckgate, kind of just behind me here, to Michael Bunting's car crash, to gagging away several wins that they really should have won 4 of the 5 games on the homestand. In fact, they could have won all 5 after they beat Edmonton. They really could have run the table. Think of how much different this season would look. They'd be in the first wild card had they done that. Instead, I think Kyle Dubas is oiling up the guillotine. Expect to see some changes from the Penguins very soon. Some birdies told us that Dubas was not pleased after the game. So that's probably all I can offer you here from PPG Paints Arena. Now this hellacious 7-game road trip begins. If there's any lingering doubts, any chance left, these 7 games are the marbles. Buffalo and Washington back-to-back. That's the 17th and 18th. Then we fly out west, LA, Anaheim, Seattle, San Jose, Utah, and home. You have to think the Penguins essentially have to, of the 14 possible points, you think the Penguins have to get probably 11 to erase the damage they did on this disaster, squandered homestand. And the Penguins really know, they know they have no one else to blame but themselves. The opportunity was presented to them time and again, and yet they didn't seize it. So, from PPG Paints Arena, I'm about to hit the road. We'll do practice the next couple of days. Hopefully the snow and the ice hold off and allow us to get there. And then we do hit the road. Many of you don't know, actually, I'm a print journalist by trade, despite the years in radio or in these videos. So do me a favor, check out PittsburghHockeyNow.com. And if you want to come along for the ride, we'll be doing a lot of exclusive paywall content, especially on the road. I try to get some stuff behind the paywall. So you can join Pittsburgh Hockey Now and join this crazy coverage of this season, which I think is about to become radically different. Okay, now I'm done. From PPG Paints Arena, I'm Dan Kingerski. Have fun.